Good afternoon and welcome to my poetry show by Paul O'Mani. Sue Wilsonders. Hello Julie. Hello Mustafa. Hello Ollie. Hello Steffi. Bazbla. Hello. Very welcome. I missed somebody there. Gally Lucas, UK. Gary. Hello Gary. Julie. Hello. Michael Feely or Feary. Connor Periscope. Hello. Oh, Julie, thanks for inviting your followers. Thank you very much. That's very good of you. Ollie, hello. Ollie from the UK near Oxford. Lonely Previn. Alicia from California, United States. Basblo, yes. Spiloni from Milan. We have a great international group here. Erica Celeste would love to know where you all are. And I'm sure some people here would like to know where you are. And people on the internet would love to know where you are. So it would be good if you would be good enough to say where you're from and where you are in the United States. It's such a big place. I'm still looking for somebody from Wyoming. D. Vinson, hello. D. Vinson, hello. Ohio, right, we have Ohio in the Midwest. Paul Kitchen in Cork. Yes, you're in Paul's Kitchen in Cork. Ollie is very great humour. Liverpool in the United Kingdom. Lovely. Goliath, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to my poetry show in which I read some of my own poetry for a change, since I read Walt Whitman every single day and often read the poems of other people. So, Rinpock, hello. Hello and very welcome. It's about 4:20 on Wednesday afternoon in Ireland. And your ancestors, Michael, are from Cork, Leary's, right? Michael F. Leary. Davar Lovrinik, hello. I don't suppose you'd be in Poland by any chance? Rinpock from Brazil, right. Would you be from, by any chance, where would you be from in Brazil? That would be the simplest way. Anne, hello. Anne on Hotmail, hello. Say hello properly to you. Oh, Gary, you studied Walt Whitman. Oh, right. Well, you know, if you can spare the time to come on the Walt Whitman show, it would be lovely. You could probably, I'm sure, add an awful lot of value to that show. It goes out at about 10:30 this evening, sometime between 10:30 and 11 o'clock in the evening. Kinski, hello and welcome. Well, this is my poetry show, and I'm going to this is just the second episode of it. You wrote Where the Sidewalk Ends. Right. Connor, you have one on me there. Junior Minning Pro, hello. No more puss, I hope. Can't quite remember what that meant, but... So Catch is good for scope saving and it saves comments and heart. Catch is brilliant. Wait till you see what Catch can do. I highly recommend, without any reservation, that you put #Catch on the end of your scopes. Just go on to, for those of you who don't know about this, there's a place where you can, yes, you can get the comments with Catch. Put katch.me into the internet. Catch.me, right? And if you do that, you just follow the simple instructions. You have to sign into it with Twitter, and all the rest will be... Why do I want to save the comments? Because I absolutely love and treasure comments. I mean, in my experience, and this is my experience, is that I value the comments more than my own contribution, because the comments are different from my own, and the comments are, you know, they also give me a list of all the people who have been on, who have commented, and many people are commenters, and well, there Ollie has it. So look, I don't want to keep you waiting too long for my poetry show. So with no more ado, I'm going to, in fact, this is what Catch looks like. It displays the comments on the right hand side here, and I don't want to do a scope about Catch, right? That's another story, and I could, we could be here chatting about Catch. I do have my glasses mended. I'm going to read you something from the early part of my epic poem called Irish Epic Poem in 33 Cantos. And one of the curiosities you might have is, why is it 33 cantos? And just in case you're interested in that, Dante's Inferno was 34 cantos, and no way I'm going to compete with Dante. So I came in with one less than, hello, Ken, Den Hen, hello. So I came in with 33 cantos. So that's the story, if you like. I'm going to read you, this is my own copy. These are various markings for the second edition, which isn't out yet. Did I write the poem Tide? No, I don't think I wrote a poem called Tide. Yeah, I was born in 2009, and so I wrote it in in honor of the year I was born. Thanks very much, Elisa. Lovely Brevin. That's a good piece of it. No, the this poem. The only place, by the way, you could actually get this poem now. My mother bought all the printed copies. Is in the Kindle store. So this is early on in the poem, where in a way I'm still setting the scene, and the search is on for one honest man in Ireland in November 2009, and the search is really beginning to get going. And it's going to prove very difficult to find one honest person, one Irish man actually, in Ireland in November of 2009. If any of you could remember anything about what Ireland was like, Elisa, hello. Elisa is from the Midwest. Somebody is here from Ohio. Please connect with Elisa. She has something very important to tell you about. There's somebody here from Ohio, Elisa. So here we go. Look, this is entering the poem as a character. Mr. A. Singh, hello. Mr. A. Singh is a wonderful graphic artist, stroke painter, and he does live periscopes in which he paints, and a very fine painter he is indeed. I would really recommend you to look at his scopes. Now, I mustn't get distracted. I must not get distracted. So in this part of the poem, it begins with the entry of a character called Night, right? And that's N-I-G-H-T. So that's all I really want you to know. Night is a character in the poem. There's the narrator, there's Night, there's an elephant, and there's a moleskin. But in the part that I'm going to read you, Night, the narrator, and moleskin all appear. So here we go. Enter the night dressed in poetry, in case she'd be mistaken for an easy ride. Enter the night undressed for bed. The 1 o'clock news suggests a new tax on poverty. Perhaps it was property. It was certainly something with a T. The moo cow came up the road, boreen from hell, as if the burren was after her, intending to rip off her udders for a bit of softening. Welcome, night. We've missed your presence all day. Now we're low on the feather pillow, about to extinguish the DJ from Montrose. You usher in dream time. Black magic chocolates, black magic woman, back where you belong, carrying Luxembourg, Caroline and London. Thinking of the hit parade, the fucker with the mouth we forget about. Did he really shit under Heaney? Or was it Sweeney Todd? Didn't I see Donegal send first a scout, then a spy, and recently a sleeper? Who expects poets of the night to stick to the concrete, lightless rooms, stanzas to Kip in Yom Kippur, or Keeper Hill, delirium setting in? Saw that tree shiver, spotted starling land on branch, shaft of light on mind. The country's awash, and that doesn't mean clean. The money's devalued, the overdraft gone. A fig leaf collapsed, a hunger returned. Beyond in the park, a president sits. She's even prepared to save on the heating, because the engine's cocked up, the builder abroad. The bankers still eating, faith of our fathers, but no one hails Mary, Harney left without cuddles. Our unions are marching with no lambeg drum. The pipers well buried, the notes have been said. It's not like a revolt or even parade. Patrick was wrong, the snakes are not gone. Garda Síochána, the fáine, bring back pioneers, we need to warn you. This is the Moleskine speaking. Ha ha! Did you see the sonnet coming? Over the horizon, down the valley, out of the limelight, into the blast? I've been holding back, restraining a comment. There's a certain amount of neglect a receptacle expects. I've been hoping you would write The Starfish on the shores of Lissadell. Sligo needs an alternative to Yeats. If you're simply getting warmed up on this page, you might display a bit of consideration for the poor mussels left behind. They at least expected to be mugged and feasted on, like many enjoyers of the ravage. What of the marine biologist with his face televised as his stubbled mouth-fest was all at sea? A moleskin is beyond confinement. I certainly look for some of those haiku you've been hiding in your Twitter with Tweeple, clever little people. Innisfree, a social media island with world-class lapping shores. I better leave you to Brian Cowan. An all-might politician from Offaly, home of liver, twinned with kidney, tripe in the brand, sweetbread in hand, a born-again purse string saved from the bog, so he could sit in the comfort of friends, be strong and decisive in front of the mirror. Let me introduce you to a golfer whose only handicap are clubs, tents, pubs, the suit you squeeze into to lead the general population. If you set aside the trappings inside which such a gentleman operates and ignore the exigencies of difficulties unfairly landed on the gilded platter from which such a girth is used to eating. I'll stop there. That's a passage from Canto number 6 of this Irish epic poem in 33 cantos by Paul O'Mahony. So that's a little of my own work on Wednesday afternoon. Oh, thank you, Elisa. Thank you very much. I'm very, very pleased to have impressed you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Gary. Thank you very much. Very nice. Thank you. Fab, Ollie says. Thank you. Julie, you're more than welcome. And Tiffy's sweet spot. I can't help the accent. And Gary, I can't help the accent. I don't know where it came from. Number 6, intense, great imagery. Well, there's one thing I can promise you is that the whole thing is full of imagery. Tiffy's sweet spot, it's awesome. Right, thank you. I must say, as some of you will know and more of you won't know at all, I love reading poetry in particular on Periscope, and I love chatting with people about it and chatting with people about anything, to be absolutely honest. Are there people here who have never been on any of my Periscopes before? Julie's still waiting for the elephant's voice, right. Awful place of liver and kidney, yeah. And Offaly is a county in, yeah, well, you know that already, I presume. You're going to show your co-worker. Right. Is the co-worker going to see it while at work? That would be, you must have an interesting job. You love hearing poetry read aloud. Oh, thank you. Really enjoyed hearing your work. Yeah, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Blood sausage. Yeah, well, black pudding. You studied Keats at university, right? I have never studied any poetry at university. I studied other things at university, but I never studied any poetry at university. And I've never even gone to I think I went to one in all my time at university, which was considerable. I went to one lecture on English literature. And I can't even remember what it was. I just remember going in. And so I'm a sociologist in background. I was trained as a sociologist. Scott Coe, hello. But actually, just to clarify, I may have been trained as a sociologist. I may have even, taught people how to do research. But I dropped out of academia. I completely dropped out of academia, and I became a bus conductor. So Keats, Wordsworth, Byron in English high school, the Romantics. Ah. Well, it shows in your violin playing, Alicia. It shows in your violin playing that you've studied Keats and Byron and the Romantics. Absolutely comes through. Yes, I bet you if I was to ask you all, Gary and Alicia and everybody else, what has been your journey, your path? Oh, you think I'm joking? I can hear Keats coming through in some of your bowing. Definitely. Absolutely, And then in the crescendos, there's a lot of Byron in your crescendos, Alicia. A lot of Byron, definitely. I wandered lonely as a cloud. The first draft of that poem was I wandered lonely as a cow. So when Wordsworth was walking over the hills in the Lake District and Dorothy, his sister, was walking behind him, writing out what he had to say in notebooks, because that's how he worked with her. The first draft was I wandered lonely as a cow. You studied literature, were thinking of being an English teacher, right? And now you're a musician. Fantastic. Gary, would you, first of all, what instrument, do you mind me asking, do you play? And second, supplementary, would you ever consider playing live on Periscope, where there is more than enough room for another musician? I mean, we can't get by with lovely Previn and Sam King TV, and that's all. We can't possibly get by with... You have done some singing on here, right? Of course, you're gonna have to forgive me for not... Ah! Well, Gary, I'll rectify that. I see you have one recent one and I've just followed you. Sam King, hello. Hello, Sam. Good afternoon from Cork. Yeah, so it's... usually what I do is... You got to go back to work. Lovely. Work well. Work well. Work well. And actually, before you go, would you put up the hashtag? Would you please put up the hashtag Midwest Perry Meet? Yes, Sam King TV. Sam King TV. I mean, he is amazingly good. Yes, that's it. So there will be on the 8th of August an event on Periscope in 4 different places in the Midwest. And there is the Twitter name. So highly recommended. In fact, I have every intention of tuning in from Ireland. But there you are. I might have to stay up very late in order to get there. But what was I going to say? Sam King TV. Oh, things are moving along. We've got an event designed, and we have a date, and we need to find a person in Cork with event management skills who would actually take on, not that it's terribly arduous, you know, we don't have to have, but it does demand a certain amount of coordination. It would be a whole day, you see. Ibrahimed, 4, hello and welcome. So I'm going to read a little bit more. I'm going to read a bit more of what I read. Not all of it, but a little bit of it. Just so either if you've heard it a little bit earlier in the scope or you're just arriving, there'll be something of my poetry for you. So I'm going to read about half of what I read before. This is from my longest work by a million miles. It's a 142-page long epic poem. And I'm just going to read to you from this Canto 6 from Irish Epic Poem in 33 cantos by Paul O'Mani. And I should explain, because just in case you're wondering what it is, it starts, enter the night. Now the night is not a K-N-I-G-H-T, but it's N-I-G-H-T. So it's night, enter the night, and enter the night would mean that it's now nighttime. But night is a character in the poem. Night appears, maybe not in every canto, but night appears from time to time. Never during the day. Okay, so here we go. Enter the night dressed in poetry, in case she'd be mistaken for an easy ride. Enter the night undressed for bed. The 1 o'clock news suggests a new tax on poverty. Maybe it was property. It was certainly something with a T. The moo cow came up the road, boring from hell, as if the burren was after her, intending to rip off her udders for a piece of softening. Welcome, night, we've missed your presence all day. Now we're low on the feather pillow, about to extinguish the DJ from Montrose. You ushered in dream time. Black magic chocolates, black magic woman, back where you belong, carrying Luxembourg, Caroline and London, thinking of the hit parade. For fucker with the mouth, thinking of the hit parade, the fucker with the mouth we forget about. Did he really shit under Heaney, or was it Sweeney Todd? Didn't I see Donegal send first a scout, then a spy, and recently a sleeper? Who expects poets of the night to stick to the concrete, lightless rooms, stanzas to Kip in Yom Kippur, or Keeper Hill, delirium setting in? Saw that tree shiver, spotted starling land on branch, shaft of light on mind. So there, you went to Donegal last summer. It's beautiful there, lovely reading. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Darkness. The last three lines, by the way, you'd see it if you were looking at it, but is a sort of a haiku. Saw that tree shiver, spotted starling land on branch, shaft of light on mind. The poem as a whole is a place where I used many different poetic forms, some for fun and some because they seem to make complete sense. They're just those three lines. Oh, thank you, Alicia. I'm glad you liked that. Very good to know. So look, guys, I'm going to say goodbye from me, and thank you very much for coming. Yeah, haikus are fun. I agree totally that they're fun to write. The only thing I would say is that to write sort of okay haikus is not too difficult. To write great haikus is about the most difficult poetic form that I can think of, which when you look at the haikus of Basho, I think a 17th century Japanese poet, I mean, you'd fall off the chair when you see what Basho, of course they're only in translation, but you know, whenever I think I've got a good haiku, I have a look at Basho and I think, oh, well, look, Paul, it's not too bad, but, you know, to be a master of haiku, you'd want to be at it for a long time, and you need to develop huge eye and sensitivity for nature. So look, cheerio for now. Thank you very, very much for coming here. I do hope we meet again soon. I couldn't agree more. Great haikus take brilliance. Yeah, some people will be lucky to write one, and that might even be an accident. But to be able to write as many as Basho wrote, that's a different order altogether. Okay, bye for now. Above all, be kind, be generous, and love yourself.